Hello my friends and welcome to episode 27 of Nightmare Mode. I've been out for lunch in Cosmos and I'm continuing my marathon play. This will be the third day for you guys, for these going out. Well, unless of course I hit the subscriber goals, I suppose. Here I am, flying forward. There's a small but growing... we were going to hit this, weren't we? I was pretty sure we were going to hit this. Let me just get this right. Tactical pilot. Should be in the Centurion. Okay. Risks away. There's a small but growing group of you that are posting out how you're really looking forward to each and every next video and see you at 8 o'clock and all that kind of stuff. I just want you to know that like makes me really happy to keep on making these. So I really appreciate it. A few of you guys wanted me to talk more about my tactics and the game lore. Now, I mean, I actually don't have any of the books anymore. I read them in the library. I used to be very poor back in the day. So I'd have to get them or something, but that'll have to wait until I've moved. You know, rather than getting them now and having more heavy material to move around. But I can tell you one thing that's kind of interesting. That you might not necessarily find on any website. And that is
time to get dirty.
There was, during the sort of Cold War period, if you will. I mean, I'm not sure quite if that's the exact right thing to say, but there were a lot of games being made and game systems. Oh, this map is bad news. It'll probably be alright. There were a lot of game systems being made that
I copy.
Sort of rather dryly predicted a dystopian future of some description. And the one game which I always remember was Total Annihilation, because it was it almost felt a very realistic dystopian future, because it was kind of like everything was going well. You know, the petty squabbles were over, and humanity had embraced space travel in the stars. And then it was governmental overreach on the victory over death itself, patterning the ability to like hold your consciousness in a data chip. Was going to mean that humanity would be effectively consciously immortal forever, and you know, there was a big group of people who decided that they did not want to give up their consciousness. Well, not their consciousness, because that's what would be preserved, but they didn't want to give up their fleshy body. And that's how the war started.
Time to earn our money.
And both sides then egregiously abused technology to continue a war that consumed the entire galaxy, with the side that believing that humanity should remain human-shaped with fleshy needs. They ended up using mass cloning technology to generate the troops that they needed, whereas
okay, going full throttle.
The other side that thought that the patterning was a good idea. Oh, this guy is rubbish. Okay, that's fine. We got a hunchback here. Disco variety with an AC-10, so sort of half disco. Anyway, yeah, so they'd been fighting for so long, and you know, with such reckless abandon, that they sort of abandoned the very things that were supposed to make them unique in the first place. And you know, at the same time, you had the 40k system, which was like
I copy.
everything goes wrong, and also, you know, how wrong can everything go? Basically, that's what
Standing by.
that's what 40k was all about. Was like, it goes wrong. How wrong can it go? Very wrong.
Affirmative.
And in a lot of ways, BattleTech really does feel like it's from that time. It feels like it's from the time of grim, dark, dystopian future nonsense.
No luck.
But unlike the other two things that I just mentioned,
Orders.
BattleTech was more sort of human political dystopia. So it was all about, I'm just going to move this into a position here. The reason why I'm not attacking the Hunchback, even though it's a much bigger threat, is because I'm actually planning to run at the Hunchback and shoot it in the back when it gets closer. So I'm going to harass the Centurion, because I'm going to be going through the front of him.
I copy.
By the way. But yeah, BattleTech felt like it was a little bit more of a political dystopia than it was an actual military one. A lot of the books and everything, you know, obviously the mechanized fighting is central to the theme or whatever, but it's all very political and suicide bombings and terrorism and you know, ironically, a lot of the stuff that we think about now that has changed the way that we interact with airports, these sort of plots were being written in BattleTech books 20 years ago. Which would probably be no surprise to a British person because, you know, the British and the Irish have the Troubles
Damage minimal.
issues going on, and the aftermath of that going on for a long time,
Commander.
which definitely put sort of terrorism in the conscious mind of
Yes, Commander.
of us island dwellers. But you know, that kind of thing didn't really happen that much in the US. I mean, the Civil War was a civil war, really. It wasn't a terrorist war. Anyway, it's all very sort of. I don't want to get too far into the real world aspects of things. Anyway, I just want to stick to talking about games. But the point is that a lot of these
All weapons are
plots seem to have only gotten more relevant over time, which I find quite interesting. I've decided that this Hunchback here, he's actually presenting his shield side, but the shield side, I believe, is got the ammo. So hopefully we can explode the shield side and preserve the weapons. Oh, sweet. Look at this. Get the side. Yeah, so anyway, I might do some lore segments and stuff, but I need to re-get my hands on the books, basically, because I'm pretty sure that they won't be lying around in a Norwegian library somewhere.
waiting for orders.
I want to go here, which is a slightly better defensive position. No.
Got it.
Full rage.
This should be good.
Oh Jesus, everything went into the leg there. Which is not quite what I wanted. Oh, excellent. Get him.
Copy that.
Get the leg. Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Reporting critical hit.
Double damage. Nice. Actually, if I take out the right torso, we might be able to fill the loot table with hunchback parts, but not actually any of the hunchback weapons, because all the hunchback weapons are actually cheap and nasty. And I think we just got all the heat sinks. We pretty much nailed all the heat sinks.
Waiting for orders.
There's nothing in the leg, right? Nope. Get him! Ooh. He might eject. Too much health. Well, my pilots are rubbish as well, that doesn't help. What am I looking at? Vindicator. Oh, it's just like that one that looks like a stock.
I hear ya.
A stock Vindicator.
Sprinting.
Let's lose this and this. Go. You might just eject. That'd be okay.
There's more where that came from.
All right, what are we looking at now? 50, 47.
Standing by.
Okay, so we'll just move here.
Position confirmed.
So we're running a bit hot anyway. I need 2 shots of 25 in there. If they go CT, then we're in trouble for making the capture. I can't believe I'm actually trying to capture bots. I'm trying to capture mechs, like what is potentially actually quite a dangerous mission, but you know, whatever. We're here now. Okay. I can't afford to actually add much more damage because it will travel.
Aye aye.
Oh, for crying out loud. Worst case scenario.
Hostile removed.
Oh well. Wait a minute, what? Oh, I was gonna say. Okay,
Receiving you.
well, I don't exactly want this stupid Centurion. I've gotta be honest here. Why can't I move up there?
Confirmed.
Okay, just cool off. I'll deal with the I will deal with the Centurion in a second. Wow, he just sat still. Okay.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Good work, buddy. You're now a very dead man. If this doesn't kill you, the next round will.
This is gonna be good.
Oh! I kicked him in the arm. How does that work? Not quite sure how that works. Gotta be honest.
Receiving you.
However, since we have now hit the arm, we might as well just carry on. We'll blast the side.
Let's go.
And soon he will be disarmed. Oh, that's where his heavy rifle is, so should do some good work.
Target acquired.
Alright,
That
sweet.
is something good.
The Centurion's actually quite a good frame, I suppose. Let's be fair.
Receiving.
As a chassis, it's actually pretty good. It's just that this particular variant is bad. Let's go here.
All an ass.
And let's carry on. 2 light machine guns and a mining drill. We'll just bombard his head.
Got it.
See if we can persuade him to eject.
Commander?
Okay, your job is to get started working on this guy. But from such an angle that you cannot be flanked.
Roger.
You may not be a very powerful Vindicator, but you still don't want to be shot in the back.
Firing. Full complement on enemy.
Oh, nice. Solid connections there. It's almost like these pilots are actually getting better, even though they're not. And don't fill my comments with, that's because your positioning is better, blah blah blah. It isn't.
What can I do for you?
It's just, we've just had some gratuitous fortune, it would seem. Which I can always appreciate, a good bit of gratuitous fortune.
Uh-huh.
There might be a second wave of enemies after this wave as well, so... Oh, we hit the head! And the sides.
Yeah! Critical hit!
Sweet.
Good to go. Got it.
Right. 42. 36, 44. I'm pretty sure some machine gun tracing ought to finish the job here. Now, where can I aim that most greatly reduces the chance of a center torso hit? If I aim for the leg and just hope that the damage is forced up into the torso. Ooh.
Reporting critical hit.
Well, he's panicking now. 26, 36, 41.
Standing by.
I could probably just persuade him to eject
On my way.
with a little help from my friends. Have a little help from my LRMs. Oh, come on, you got to eject now.
Critical hit, Commander.
There we go.
Good to go.
Guy must have had a veritable disco worth of cockpit warning lights going off after that LRM volley disabled his engine. Alright, I am not interested in the 45-ton mech.
Coordinates
I am
received.
very much interested in punching it in the back. Oh! 85% chance. How dare you miss? I don't think he can get a rear shot. I'm pretty sure my back is up on the wall there. Nope, side shot. And not even a good one.
Reporting. Minimal damage. Waiting for orders.
Alright.
Commander.
Let's soften this guy up, shall we?
Let's move.
Go.
Locking in all weapons. Waiting for orders.
Gotta close in. Ha!
On my way.
I did not realize that that was a shot. Oh yeah, look, it kind of is though, isn't it?
Confirmed.
Just put some tracer fire into him.
Waiting on you, Commander.
We can do a safe play here, which is to
Tell me what to shoot.
turn on vigilance and then punch him in the back and then punch him in the back again.
Orders?
Or I could just unload all my weapons into his rear. Let's just unload everything into his rear. We'll use vigilance to go twice.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Nice.
Yes, Commander.
Is the heat getting to you?
Here it comes.
Oh, ow, ow, ow.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Wow, he was just like, nope, I'm done. I'm surrounded, I'm being shot in the back. Yeah, goodbye, see ya.
Position confirmed.
I love the realism that the ejection mod adds to this. I've never once felt like someone didn't eject when it would have been an actual sensible moment to eject. When the battle was a foregone conclusion for that mech.
Coordinates received.
And like when my hunchback ejected, I was not even mad because I just knew that that was in many ways the right move. I probably would have pushed my hunchback
Moving to position.
to the grave if it were me.
Roger.
So I can't even be mad at my pilots for ejecting when they do. Which is pretty rare, but you know.
The asset is in hand, Commander. Good
Oh,
work.
we're done! There's no second wave. I'm surprised. I usually expect a second wave on this mission. I think it's something like, I don't know, it's like a 25% or 50% chance that there isn't a second wave. Well, we basically took no damage, so there will be money to be made on this one. Sadly, we did not capture the hunchback, despite my best efforts. But the Centurion will be alright. The old light machine gun. Very heavy on the old ammunition. Okay, so money. Jesus, look at all these heat sinks. That makes me sad. None of this is very exciting, so let's go for frame and see what other frame we get. I already have 2 pieces of that, so alright. Jesus bless us. Ooh, we got the piece of hunchback, that was nice. 3 pieces of Centurion. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's nearly a complete Vindicator. That might make a very interesting addition to my forces. And only 2 heat sinks. So we made a huge profit on that one. Definitely. I should go out for a drink more often. Nah, that was for 2 skulls, that was really easy mission. I don't even know why it was that easy. Oh, that reminds me, speaking of easy.
Is ready to fight, Commander.
Oh, we got it! We must have already had pieces. Speaking of difficulty, I can't remember if I showed you guys the difficulty. Only 11,000.
Ready to go over financials whenever you are.
Cheap. Cheap repairs. Yeah, so, in case I didn't show them at the start, I can't remember, I'm getting old. I've had a drink. Okay, pilot recovery is actually going to take longer than anything else. That actually gives us some time to do some work in the mech lab. Alright. So, what do we got? Okay, cool. We've got the fusion core. That's the main thing. Standard armor. Alright, so repair all the damage. $100,000 to repair all the damage, but it would be nice to have a spare. Can I add a lower? I can add a lower. Okay. The one thing I don't like about this mech is its insistence that it keeps all of its weapons in its arms, which does improve the accuracy, but unfortunately creates weapons that don't like to survive. Uses LRM bins. Perfect. In you go. We already have LRM ammo in this mech, so we can save lab time and money by fitting the ATM-9. And I do not want to put nice weapons in this mech, in the arms, on the grounds that the arms will disappear. And this PPC is way too hot. Way too hot. So I'm gonna go for something a little bit more modest. 4 medium lasers. A tag, because that's always useful. $3 tons for the haywire. I don't really feel like that's worth it. The delta is much better now, 40 over 58 as well. So a delta is 19, which is pretty decent. Might as well get some damaged heat sinks in here, we'll get them repaired. This will be my vanity project. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. There's a delta of only 10 there, so I don't know why the heat efficiency bar is so awful. Still, do I want more weapons, or do I just want to add another heatsink and keep it cool? No, I want to do neither of those things. ECM. Very important. I'll actually happily sacrifice a heatsink for that. And that gives us a little bit more tonnage to up the armor. The AI loves to go for the rear of everything, so I'm just upping the rear armor. In fact, let me just tone down the torso a little bit and tone up the CT. There we go. Okay, cool. So I don't mind this clan weapon being in the left torso because we can protect it there relatively simply. But I'm not putting clan weapons in the arms because the odds that I lose them is just way too high. Can I add this? Cool, I can get a hand in. Sweet. Where have I said that before? Ah, no, I'm a bad person. I don't really have any other kit. I could put endo steel in it. I'm not really sure how much that would accomplish. Would free up a couple of tons for heat sinks. But I don't think this mech runs that hot, to be honest. I mean, it's got straight up enough heat sinks to keep all 4 of those lasers cool. And the missiles will be used as appropriate with the limited ammunition. No, I'll save that. That is going to take some very serious time to complete.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
But we finally have a bank, a bit of breadth, a bit of depth to our lineup. The second, I'm putting this one at the top because the second mech bay will have all of these repaired. And it'll have them repaired before the pilots are off of their break, so absolutely no problem there. I'm picking up a lot of these PPCs, Jesus. I guess these ones are all damaged. I'll have to get a mech at some point and just use it to repair equipment. Because it's quite cheap to repair equipment, and evidently it seems to double the value. Right, these engine cores are roughly what I would expect them to be worth. See, I got all these damaged double heat sinks need repairs as well. Maybe find me and keep me a cheap light mech that I can use for equipment repair at some point. Okay, cool. We made quite a bit of money there, and we've got a spare mech. So for the first time in this entire campaign, I can afford to take a loss. Still have a spare ready to go. Okay, so we need to move time forward slightly.
Hey boss, we've just completed those upgrades.
I have 1 day of lab time left, but I don't think there's anything I want to do with it. So that's fine. can't get this until I've got the beta pod. The beta pod is definitely holding back our progression. And once I have it, that's like 3,000, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like 15,000 per month running costs that I can actually reduce, as well as improving, you know, company morale. Right, one day. Stop. Yay, everyone is back on duty. Okay, so this is a salvage run. Okay, drop interception. This is against pirates. Now I'm very tempted to take this mission for sea bills, because 367,000 sea bills is a lot of sea bills, and it's more sea bills than I would almost certainly make from salvage. I would have to find at least one clan extra large engine or an inner sphere one. And it's one of these 03 salvage ones for one tweak. So, in a change from our usual scheduled programming, I am going to do this one for sweet, sweet sea bills. Cold hard cash. And we got time. That last mission was actually pretty quick, and this one will probably be pretty quick as well, hopefully. This is usually one lance, this mission. One lance, no matter what it is, should be relatively easy to handle at 1.5 skull.
Command interface initiated.
Alright, let's rumble. Oh, it's this map. Okay, that changes things. On this map often has reinforcements that turn up here. Not always, but usually.
Got it. Max speed, no shooting.
Okay, the fight begins. I did not get a chance to move all of my mechs.
Commander. Affirmative.
If I hear the old spiel about enemy reinforcements, I'm running behind the mountain. If there isn't enemy reinforcements up here, if that doesn't happen, then this is actually a very good map, because you can just lead people around this rock in a kind of ring around the rosy slaughter.
On it.
Waiting for orders.
Right. We're in it for the cash. And that is very liberating. This is one aspect of the game that people don't talk about, is if you're not going for salvage, if you're just going pure cash, then you can just kill the enemy. Right? You don't have to worry about trying to preserve salvage or some big expensive elite mech, and you're there desperately trying to make sure that you try and persuade the enemy pilot to eject or whatever. That's not something that you have to worry about. All you have to worry about is killing the other guy. Oh, a locust. Oh, you poor fool. You poor tiny fool.
Tell me what to shoot.
Oh, I think I hit him in the head. Yeah, I hit him in the head. Awesome. That's about as good as that could have gone. Oh, sup, son? Black Knight in the winter. Expulse Black Knight in the winter. Ugh.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, okay. Alright, fine. Now we know what you spent the entire frigging budget on.
Acknowledged.
This guy has got to be brought down. Now. Alright, he's tagged. I could not care less about what you do, Mr. Locust.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I have got to put this Black Knight in a missile sandwich. Like, now. Go!
Going turbo!
Alright, keep it cool for this one. I'm gonna need your alpha form to get behind him.
Here we go!
If I'm gonna go behind him and try and assassinate him from behind,
Yes, Commander.
I suppose I would presume that some of you are wondering why I bothered to shoot at the front at all. You know, apart from the chances of a headshot or something similar, which could be quite useful.
No shooting.
It's just to generate panic.
Firing.
Okay. Wow, he's going really early in the turn order. For some reason. What is he, like some sort of super mega master tactician of doom? Command chassis with improved initiative. Command consoles with improved initiative. Okay, right. Cool. Nothing like a horde of disgusting initiative upgrades.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Right, buddy. It's time for you and I to have a chat about the state of your rear health.
Affirmative.
Get him! Ah, where did the shots go? Ah, they found their way into the legs. Okay.
Orders?
Receiving you.
Everything is fine. The murder must
On my way.
continue.
Double time.
Go!
Got it.
Oh, nice! The structure is exposed. We got a lot of work put into the rear there.
Good to go!
Ah, I can't quite. I cannot quite sprint close enough.
Double time!
It's alright though. I'm gumming him up so he can only walk forward. We'll sacrifice a little bit of heat on this shot. In fact, no, we do have a side rear, so why not?
This should be good!
What's up, boss?
Yeah, let's go up here. Actually, let's sprint up there so we can turn.
All an ass.
I actually do not want him to fall over. If I missile bombard him now, he'll fall over. I don't want him to fall over, I want him to stay stood up. So I will go for the Locust. And the entire of his rear structure is completely smashed in.
Solid connection on that one.
Alright, please don't immolate one of my mechs. If he full alphas one of my mechs, it could just be murdered instantly. Why? Oh man. Is that it? Is that it? That's it. Okay. Alright. Cool.
Ready for orders.
I hear ya. Orders?
Receiving you.
I'll be collecting my
go.
C-bills now.
I hear ya.
Yeah, face this way. And just kind of shoot. Just kind of shoot. Did he just eject? No. 58, my friend.
Waiting on you,
58.
Commander. Waiting for orders. On it.
Oh, this is gonna hurt you more than it hurts me.
That hit something good.
Oh, he's gone! He's gone. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. If I had gone for salvage, I would be drowning in pulse lasers right now with a complete Black Knight to take home and call my own. I know, I know.
What can I do
But
for you?
we could not have known that the entire enemy Op 4 was going to be a Locust and a Black Knight. There was no way to know that.
Got it. Max
So I
speed,
took the
no
money.
shooting.
And I regret nothing.
Bang! You're dead.
I might regret it a little bit. Because I just annihilated the Locust, which meant that all of my random picks would have been bits of
Mission
Black Knight.
successful.
Ah well. There was no way to know. It could have been any old junk. Plus, I would have actually had to attempt to capture it. I mean, we're just lucky that it ejected. I don't know how long I'd want to dance with that beast for, trying to capture it. Look at this. Damage free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Complete Black Knight. I guess it had a lot of like heat sinks or junk components though, because if you look at the scroll bar, 2, 3, and a bit. If you look at the scroll bar, it's probably full of heat sinks and stuff. Oh well. These things happen. I mean, you know. What can I say? What can I do? I will take my giant heap of C-bills though. I'll lie on top of them and be like, loads of C-bills. I actually can't afford to take damage right now anyway, because obviously, well, I can rearrange the tasks, but you know, I need 30 days worth of lab time. Sweet. I think this is the most money we've ever had. But I don't think I'm quite yet ready to run to engineering and be like, here, take my C-bills. But soon. The funny part is, once we get over the hump that is the cost of the beta pod, the rest of these upgrades are actually pretty cheap. And offer both improved morale, better events, and reduced costs. But more importantly, this training module should make it such that some of my mech warriors can actually be leveled. At least a little bit.
What's up, boss?
As we slowly close in on our first skill.
Standing by.
What can I do for you?
Waiting for...
Commander.
So, just
for
quick
orders.
calculations. I believe this is 45,000, right?
Good to go.
Hang on. I think that's like 800 or something. I'm not quite sure.
To go.
Commander,
It's like 100, 400, 800, something like that.
Waiting for orders.
I'll find out. But basically, the first pod is no good because it only gives 20,000 EXP, and this added together is roughly 20,000 EXP. So 3333 is 20,000 EXP roughly. So this is the first one is not really any good for generating experience points. Unless the pilot starts worse than 333, like the guy that we're going to hire before we leave the system. We're going to grab this guy before we leave the system. The only reason why I'm not grabbing him now is just because, you know, if I'm going to be in system for another couple of contracts, then that's one round of wages that I can save. Hard contract. I ain't touching that. I think this will be the last thing that we do on this planet, and then we'll go somewhere else. Because I am not touching that. And these are all too hard. So this is the only one that's worth going for. Anyway, that aside, just going back to the point, the 50,000 pod is, the second level pod is 50,000 EXP. And 50,000 EXP is enough to get several,
Yes, Commander.
several level 4 skills. It's not enough to get you a 5th level skill, so it's not enough to actually get you a 5th skill. Which, I want evasive movement more than anything else. Gunnery level 4, and then piloting level 5 is how I kind of want to build my characters. Because that extra evasion is really important. But yeah, it's... anyway, this is all future stuff. I need money before I think about it. I just thought to myself I could actually send 2 mechs and my 2 spare pilots to do this half skull and do it with 2 mechs, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so I think we're where we want to be for now. In case you were wondering, so this half skull here, right? I will send 4 mechs to this mission. Now you've seen me do this mission with 2 mechs, half skulls. So you know they can be done with 2 or 3. The point is, when armor repairs cost money, you might as well just pay the drop costs of sending a full, powerful lance. Because you can just take apart the enemy so much quicker that the chance of return fire and return damage is greatly reduced. And that's pretty important. Plus more mechs give you more options for flanking and side hits. Try and make this salvage count by capturing any elite mechs that turn up, if there are any. The worst thing that can happen is I turn up to this mission and it's just all vehicles, and not even nice vehicles, like, you know, vehicles with junk weapons or whatever. Then I won't make a profit. Although I will at least fill my my mech bay with spare parts that might be quite useful. But that's my reasoning behind that. You might as well just deploy as much force as you possibly can to every mission. Or at least 4 mechs. Because you'll save money in the long run by preventing damage by having the more firepower available to you. But anyway, we're in a very solid position here. I hope you all enjoyed this. I must admit, I'm a little bit more relaxed because I've just had a couple of drinks, not many, and this all went really well. Really well, couldn't have gone better. So yeah, join me next time. We'll get that half skull done, and then we're gonna switch planets to somewhere else. and see if we can. I mustn't forget to hire that guy before we leave. And we'll go somewhere else and see what we can find. All right, join me next time.